Wonder if YouTube is gonna recognize this song and strike me down. This song, this song right here. I can't tell you how annoying that chorus is. Just that woman that with no sense of rhythm. Hands on your knees, hands on your knees. Oh shit, man, it drives me nuts. So I'm starting to just accept, aside from the fact that I just now decided not to hit somebody behind me with my vehicle. Aside from that, I I'm deciding to really accept that I just like vlogging. I do intend to do some interviews or something I've said many times. I met somebody at an event last week, a person that's trying to get into the rap game. There's no shortage of that, but I met them at like an NAAA-esque event shortly after I quit the last job, and it was nice. That was me trying to change my atmosphere, people, places, things, and all that. All right, this the people behind me clearly, I think, want to get hit by my vehicle, but that's not my goal. I didn't wake up today thinking I want to hit three people. I woke up today thinking I want to hit four people. So anyway, I'm driving and I'm vlogging, ranting. I want to say thank you to those of you that commented on last night or in general. Feedback to any of these rantifications means a lot. I like the fact that it just feels like there is a connection, and it's healthy. It feels good. So this is day 3 as I leave the job, the new old job, and there is such a difference. Leaving a corporation, where they have to pretty much. It feels like you volunteer your identity and you got to take a lot of shit. You got to take it on the chin. You got to take it on the chin, chap. Customers are always right. No, the fuck they ain't. Stephen A, motherfucker, what's up, bro? What it is, man? It's good to see you. Big shout out to Stephen A. Big shout out because through and through, my G, it's something that I appreciate universally on platforms like this in general. People that absolutely know and understand that we do not think the same. We do not agree about everything. But, bro, it's just easy to get along with people. In this age, in this day, it gets too deep. People think too much about, the whole progressive patriot idea. The dividers, the unifiers. It was a very cheesy motherfucking thing that I used to say. Man, is this racist if I say that? All right. I look beady-eyed right now. There you go. All right, you can see the whites in my eyes. Charlie's in the trees. But yeah, no, people focus way too much on how much they agree or the fact that they want to vote the same and blah, 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 like the same beer, whatever the fuck. There shouldn't be any extenuating circumstances that make it so you're like, okay, I can mess with you. I always appreciate how naturally it is to vibe with people that don't think too fucking much about the stupid things, that seek the drama and seek the conflict. Something that is going to become increasingly difficult not to talk about because it's happening close to, how do I say, my neck of the woods on the YouTube streets. Streets, yo! These YouTube streets, I can't believe. Like, I remember more maturity in kindergarten, bro. I'm not slamming any of the good people uh on these YouTube streets, man, but watching the events of drama that unfolds and continues, isn't everybody exhausted? And you know how I feel on the matter. If anybody's coming in here and there's like a specific channel that I'm just not invested in throwing out the names or getting involved, even though, yes, I'm biased. There is a side. I do respect certain people more or like them or get along. See, just like Stephen A, like I would call them friend. Stephen A, I don't know. Yeah, fuck it. We're friends, because it's just easy to vibe. But that doesn't mean that, everything that I understand and know about, like Stephen A, for example, and that's I'll stop using your name, dude. But you're a big deal, bro. You're a big deal, okay? Everybody show that respect. Thank you. Thank you. Like, let's say I hear Steven beat the shit out of somebody with a fucking, that had one arm and a fucking tick, and he had to walk around, and maybe he was like Rain Man, threw toothpicks all over the place. And I hear Stephen A. like stomped his ass. I don't have to condone Stephen A. stomping Toothpick Man down, but I could still say, hey, Stephen is a good guy, and I don't entirely I don't have to agree with anything that is done by anybody, but we can get along. And this is, again, like, I'll always find myself not liking tribalism, and sometimes it's easy for me to laugh at something that used to be very important. The show that started it all for me was Stuck in the Middle, man, which was all about starting from the center and looking at the left and the right. No, I know, Steve, you're a man of peace and prosperity, and you are appreciated, my G. You are appreciated. But Stuck in the Middle was literally, a show all about being in the middle, looking at the left and the right, politically speaking. So there's a lot of looking at, observing, and studying, I suppose, ideologies and individuals. And it's overkill already how much I talk about. I used to think this way, that way. I used to be a hardcore Democrat, lefty, liberal, blah, blah, blah. Bernie Sanders was my daddy, my baby daddy. Yeah, and now, yep, Trump, hardcore Trump. I see no other options. I will acknowledge this, since I'm on a political diatribe, and that I hit this button solely so I can fucking rant like a maniac in panic, not satanic, just my mind in this chaotic state. I hear people talk about RFK a lot, man. Y'all be watching that Joe Rogan? The Joe Brogan? Bro Jogan? He has amazing people. He just had Tucker Carlson, which, check it out, that shit got like 7 million views just yesterday. It was held private for like 12 hours and then released. And look, that just shows how fucking hungry the American population is for any individual out there in the genre of the mainstream or voices, how much we, the people, want to hear the outliers, or the voices that, I hate these terms, the voices that are canceled, quote unquote, the voices that are suppressed, blacklisted. There's so much fascination with individuals like, I used to think Tucker Carlson was a complete tool. He used to wear a bow tie. I don't like his face, but I respect him now. And I had to break through, starting from the middle, from the outside looking in. I had to be open-minded and hear everything before making a complete determination and walking away from the tribe, man. There's a couple of social media pages that represented Stuck in the Middle, and they're still alive, much to my pleasure. They're still going, and there's still posts that are absolutely divisive. And I promise you, I hope soon, or this week, Friday, Josh and I and Adam will be doing another Stuck in the Middle. I've been sharing some topics. We got some good stuff. God, I'm having a Biden moment. Oh, let me talk about this. Okay. Sorry, I jump around. This is my manic brain. This is my catharsis. I can't wait to show that video. If you haven't seen it, Joe Biden getting taken away from a baby on stage. And the guy that posted it, man, he has a good point. He's no Biden fan, but he is straight up talking about, like, yo, what kind of message does it send when we as a country are showing our fucking so-called leader, I hate calling him that, being literally, like, I gotta play the clip. The next live you see, I will be on my computer so I can share the shit that I see. He's on stage, and there's a family. There's a mother holding her beautiful infant child. Joe Biden starts doing his creepy fucking walk, or he's like a zombie. Hey, look at that baby. Oh man, that baby's on the grill, man. Let me get him. Can I touch the baby? Huh? Yeah, I'm gonna touch the baby, okay? And then you literally, Secret Service, serious looking dude comes up, just gets up in his ear. You could tell he is addressing Joe Biden about him approaching very slowly the infant child that he was probably, I don't know, gonna sniff or something, gonna get a good whiff. He's gonna, and the guy says what he's got to say, and Joe Biden, we could tell he looked confused. How bad is that? He's confused in general. He wakes up confused. Okay. He looks at the sky confused. He's like, wow, look at that ocean, man. Can't wait to take a dip today. Looking up at the fucking sky. And he's literally confused because he's being told, Mr. President, do not approach the baby. I can only guess what he was told, but he was clearly led away from the infant child that the mother was holding up on a stage. Man, how does that look to other countries? That the American people has a fucking president, a leader, whatever, that we don't trust around children. Ugh. PR, man. The United States needs a whole new optic. I hope the hunger that we the people have for looking for those dissenting, outlying opinions. Is it dissenting? Just anything that's kind of against the status quo. You know, acknowledging like the suppressing of certain voices, certain talking points, and you already know them by heart. It's the same shit. People or the mainstream powers that be don't like when you bring up COVID. They don't like. There's a lot of shit about that Joe Rogan episode where Tucker and he were talking openly about vaccines. Oh, here's YouTube. YouTube's gonna love me right now. They were skirting around vaccines causing. There's no. I don't know the data for this. I'm only regurgitating what I heard on Brogan with Carlson. They were openly skirting around the idea of vaccines causing autism and what is it, mitochondritis or something, where people's hearts have been stopping. I don't know. I think that's a heart condition, and there's evidence that as a result, some loose connection that it has perhaps caused people to be harmed. And this is going to be a while before we get like the solid answers of the events of fucking COVID. It's going to be a while. But I love that it's easy to see, even on platforms that do and can shadow ban, where our interests are cannot be stopped nor silenced. And that's why I appreciate channels that are willing to look at both sides, which is why I'm always tickled. I'll still look at both sides, and just even though there's things on the right that I just cannot fuck with, I cannot vibe with. I have my issues with religion. I need that separation of church and state. And I have probably a controversial view of abortion. Okay, it's uncomfortable to talk about, but I'm always willing to have that conversation. But aside from that, aside from those two things, and I'm sure I could nitpick others, I have every single issue with the left as it is, and their pandering and their attempt to always look like the white knight, and that they're always doing the greater good. It's so funny and pathetic. And then watching like these older folks literally trying to emulate their constituency by, like, we're talking about a 80 or 70-year-old person that is an elected official with pink hair and fucking whatever. I mean, not trying to be judgmental, but bro, people can't get jobs because of tattoos and whatever hair. I guess maybe the fact that they're elected, it adds something, but it's such a pander, bro. You don't see the Republicans dressing up in Kwanzaa gear and throwing up the fucking BLM fist, right? You don't see that. So at least it appears from what I see, the conservative base that I do not fully endorse or worship have conviction in what they say. Oh, here's when I dox myself. Yeah, how many times have I done that already? I've lost track. I don't give a shit. It's amazing what people do on these YouTube streets, I'll tell you. Now I feel like I'm doing stand-up. But all right, I made it fucking home. I got to do a rant. I'm gonna compile some clips together, and make sure I'm not using the content, the topics that Josh, Adam, myself will be using for Stuck at Night on Friday night. Let me kind of promote that now. And I want to bring some just special ones. I've been watching a lot of police auditing, corrupt police stuff. Last night I almost went on, but it was late as fuck. Not that that matters, but it was too upsetting. There was two videos I found where police were in absolute fault of having two citizens that didn't make it, and it was absolutely preventable. and the direct link and cause was the officer. And it was very upsetting to watch. There's one that I saved, and I have my own reservations about sharing content that's kind of that disturbing, because there's a woman, and I had no idea about this woman and the backlash of the police actions. Lisa Edwards, I think her name was. The police just watched her slowly, slowly die. They watched her. They refused to believe anything she said. This was somebody's mother, somebody's grandma. You know, I when I started as the liberal that I was, I was very outspoken about being anti-cop, and I am no longer anti-cop. I'm not like one of these people that advocates for a chop and defunding the fucking police, which is asinine, insane. And the whole qualified immunity thing, I don't think I know well enough to make a determination of whether it's good, bad, or necessary. But I do believe, like, one thing between a good friend of mine and myself is that he actually once said he doesn't believe the thin blue line exists, that police don't exceptionally take up for one another and advocate and allow or justify, condone, or sweep up when they fuck up. Hey, Crystal. Hi, and whoa, Pooh, bro. What's good, fam? It is good to see you. And yeah, Crystal, it is the footage I'm talking about. Like, part of me wants to say I'm sorry, but when I go live later on, I'm gonna show this footage. It's gonna have its commentary. It is not monetized. I hope that YouTube is more forgiving since you don't try to bank off of other people's content. But these are just, hey, Crystal and Crystal, hello. It is just stuff that the public needs to see. I'm kind of upset that I didn't know about this case. I think it was just last year. Just, when you watch this footage from the beginning to its very, very disturbing end, like, it is fucking despicable. All right, the hospital just didn't want to deal with her. I don't know what issues were in the hospital. The the family of this woman that needlessly passed away, they literally held her albuterol, or, like, what's necessary for asthma, or she was you could hear her having trouble with breathing, and they're just holding it and not letting her. They're not treating her, giving her no medical attention, and it takes so long, which is what makes it so disturbing, because she is in sincere pain, and she is slowly passing away, slipping through our fingers, the state's fingers, our tax dollars, and very, very slowly, and I'd imagine with some very strong discomfort and pain, she dies, man. She loses consciousness in the back seat of this officer's vehicle. She loses consciousness. He is taking his sweet fucking time, because he makes it clear he doesn't believe a single thing that she says about how her ankle is shattered, how, she feels this, that, and the other. She's so obviously not right. Something is so clearly not right. I cannot believe how many people. The family has 12 charges that they're suing that state, the police and the hospital. I hope they win every fucking charge. I hope every charge is committed, and I hope that I continue to see examples of what needs to be done getting done on behalf of the people. And the repercussions that these officers got are pathetic. All right, fuck that thin blue line, because it protects actions and monsters like this. They get that authority, they get that taste, and become monsters themselves. They become exactly the opposite of whatever the fuck they intended. And then, there's that special area of people that have that personality, that complex. They got fucked over a lot in life, so they want a badge, and they go, and that's exactly like the main officer here. So this woman, she's like slowly expiring, and he takes his sweet time and leaves her in the back seat and decides, I'm going to do a traffic stop while she is audibly having trouble breathing. Stops, pulls over, commits a full fucking traffic stop. And by the time he gets back, you can see the disdain he has for this woman. Hey, Allie, good to see you. Very good to see you, Allie. I don't think it's been a minute. You could see the disdain in this officer. He's got disgust. He has disgust for dealing with this fellow human being, this somebody's mother, grandmother, sister. And when he goes and he's trying to shake her awake, he thinks she's faking, and you could tell real quick when he realizes he fucked up. the way this is where it's disturbing. I'm not gonna deny that. It's on the fucking camera. The way he grabs her by the hair and lifts her head up, when she's unconscious, like lifts it up like oh god, like, and you just see, and it's in black and white. I think it's black and white, or it's just kind of grainy. She's not conscious. Her mouth is open. I don't know that she's breathing, and he just like holding her by the hair and drops her head back down. And you could just see in the corner of the video, he's just shaking her violently, and yeah, and finally they take her back to the hospital that kicked her out, take her right back to the very place that kicked her out, put her on the street with nothing but scrubs on a cold motherfucking day, with like her property all just in bags. She wasn't homeless, but they treated her like she was indigent. And so she goes back there just to die. Just to die. I don't know if she ever regained consciousness. Fuck that hospital. Fuck those police. Those specific police. And everyone like them. Let me see what Ali said. Is this where they picked her up from the hospital and berated her when she couldn't get in the van? Yes. That is exactly well done. Ali, thank you. I needed to know that other people knew about this because it's news to me. When I saw that last night, I was shocked. I was angry. I'm not ashamed to admit, like, I was emotionally distraught. I was so fucking angry. All right, I think we all should be angry. That's the natural response. We should be equally angry at the outcome and the tragedy as we are as the pitiful punishment that has been given to the officers. I don't think a single individual has lost their job. How does qualified immunity, what does it accomplish here for the officers that are clearly at fault and that hospital? I hope that family sues the ever living fuck out of them. I saw that there were protests, and they quote her. What? I don't know if this is controversial. It pisses me off that we all know about George Floyd, but Lisa Edwards, I just learned about last night. Pisses me off. Nothing short of a fucking tragedy, and I will say it was worse. It was worse. Lisa Edwards, if that's the name, I only learned about it last night, is a larger fucking tragedy, and it's not as known because it's not a political talking point. Oh, it could be. You can use anything. All the fucking scumbags that there are in the mainstream, they use everything to their advantage. They weaponize everything to make that side bad, our side good. But nope. And I consider myself pretty much involved in the information that happens so quickly in this oversaturated era. And I learned about that just last night. I am going to play the clip with its commentary, and I want to learn the consequences, if any. I hope to some degree of satisfaction for the sake of civilization, man, for the sake of our country, for the sake of knowing our tax dollars are just bled out of us, that we are just like I felt I was owned by the last corporation. Holy shit, hi, Just Me Joy. Good to see you, sweetheart. Just like I felt so owned, nothing more than a product at the corporation I worked at. I mean, I had an employee number, and I'm just a fucking another number. That's not how we should be viewed by the people enforced. Remember, Supreme Court ruled police do not think just because it's on their car to protect and serve. It is not what the Supreme Court said. They have ruled, and this is not new information. People should know this already. The Supreme Court ruled back in, I think, the late 70s, 79. Don't quote me on that, but this is a fact. The police do not have to protect and serve. They have to enforce the law. Okay? There's obviously good cops that do the right thing because it's the right thing, because they have the morality necessary. But there's a shit ton of cops that, just like my old job at Publix, told me to fucking just stand there and let people steal. Because, that's the policy, and if I get punched in the face, only punch them in the face once. You have to meet them with equal or less force, because they're more concerned about their PR, their optics, and, less concerned about human safety and more concerned about a bad story that makes them look a certain way. That fucking just grinded my gears every damn day as I went to work. Knowing that they were so lax and bland, people gamed the system, people use you know how returns go. I don't have sympathy or empathy for that matter for any of these individuals that are just straight up thieves. But at the same time, I have zero respect for the system and the institutions that help the system along. And that's a word I use very, very, I stress it. It's a stretch to say it's help. And I'm going on my diatribe here. I know the police are necessary, and I respect the people that do the job, that do the job. I have friends that I respect a great deal. But the many examples we have, because of body cams, which we need to see pushed on every single officer, man, raise these budgets. Let us see, for example, day after day, that our money has led to transparency that is forcing better behavior. And what I'm learning much more clearly than ever in my life before, as a result of watching more of these auditing videos, is how easy it is for the police to go ahead and just literally trump up charges, add stupid charges that are complete fabrications to an official report so that they can go ahead and ensure that what they fucked up is not investigated. And that's the second video that I intend to show later, where it was this man on his way to go see his children, his 4 and 6-year-old, and he is slammed down to the ground. For what? For ashing his cigarette. And the cop literally tried to say that that was against the law. The man ashed a cigarette out of the fucking window. And the consequences after the investigation, and this officer had 5 prior complaints of his excessive, aggressive behavior. And he was still there working. I think he got suspended for 10 days. I think that was it. There's a couple more clips and cases, but like, what the fuck, man? That man was put in jail because that cop broke the law. And we don't have strong enough examples of our stupid, silly, fucking, nearly useless government needs to continue to see how important it is that we see examples of accountability, that we see examples of authority and power being held to the same fucking standard as Joe Schmo, John Q, Jane Doe. Way too many examples of this shit, man. If we're ever going to survive as a country, just so much better needs to be done. And I'd say do better, but I don't know who the fuck I'd be telling that to. Trump 2024. That's what I'm going to say. What do we got here? I'll talk to some friends in that area that work with some nonprofits and such, see what can be done. I don't know. It's an old case, but, I'll be bringing it to everybody's attention and alive very soon. They really don't like it when you tell them they need reasonable, articulable suspicion that when you committed to, yes, when they ask for the ID. Like, I've seen videos of these auditors that look absolutely fucking just, I hate this word. They're gaslighting, they're baiting, they're looking for content. They're trying to be a utter complete pain in the motherfucking ass. And as a result, they get the reactions that they want. But it's so refreshing to see that these people that essentially harass public officials of every nature, like they'll go into a building and they'll just harass the workers, not even like enforcement. And then they'll post it thinking that they're doing some angelic fucking service. And then the comments are littered with, dude, you're a fucking prick. That's refreshing. So, you got your bad bunch in every area, but it's far worse when we find the bad bunches, the bad apples in our institutions that are funded by us, for us, and fucking by us. Accountability is a better way to represent us. Let's see more examples of that. So, okay, I have been feeling much better because, I don't do well with feeling like a fucking bum. I like working. I like dealing with the public. Let's see what it's like. I have to be at this job 7 o'clock in the morning. Oh man, I'm not a morning person, but we do what we have to do because it's necessary, because we won't accept when things can go worse and feel bad. It's a natural thing for us as individuals, for self upkeep and maintenance. When something's not right, we fix it. So why can't these fucking institutions that we have the same complaints for, I don't know, a century already? Like, how fucking long have we had the very issues that we still have? And we've seen an evolution. I hope I can call it an evolution, because now we get to see, because of these police camps. I do take issue that the police have to tell the police cam to turn on. I wish them bitches would turn on automatically during every arrest, because there's just way too many means for officers, as I've learned, to still, even with footage, fuck up a report and make themselves look like the good guy. Just because they got the uniform and the badge and the gun doesn't mean they're the fucking good guy. But the report they write, and they influence all their fellow officers, all their associates, to make the narrative. And narratives is what all the institutions and the mainstream deliver to us time and time again. So you see it start from the smaller echelons and how it's practiced from way up on high. CIA, FBI, our own government narratives, man. It starts from the one bad cop and it continues all the way from the highest of the motherfucking institutions. How many was it? 8 companies that have a monopoly on business here? Fuck, man. Things are so fucked. I don't know that, of course not. A Trump 2024 presidency is not a band-aid that's going to fix everything, but man, it's a fucking step. It's, at least out of all the other suckers, it's the only thing that I could acknowledge as a band-aid. Doesn't mean it's going to fix everything or maybe anything, but I just, he's the only one I trust, man. I was going to go a rant about Bobby Kennedy and how he's completely ostracized because he was so outspoken about Fauci. Even what fucking Daniel Tosh has a huge issue with people that are talking about Fauci and how he fucked up, how we were lied to. I understand, and it's an old hat topic already. We understand everybody was still learning. It was so new, but man, if you can't look at something that has been done already in the past and acknowledge that there were mistakes made, lies told, and agendas pushed, our rights were fucked with like they were nothing. If you can't look back at that and openly say, without fear of retribution from a mainstream outlet of any kind, that there were mistakes made, things are obviously fucked. Just like having a bad feeling in your gut. Things were fucked. I don't want to be in a country where it is uncomfortable to speak the fucking truth, man. And to that, I'm going to continue to talk about things that I'm worried about people in an audience not agreeing with. I don't want to be a person that people come here to just to hear things because you agree. I want more. I want challenges. So please, by all means, if you ever hear something that you really strongly disagree with, let me know. What's up, Jojo KS Copwatch? Hello. I was just talking about the police. Based on the name alone, I'm going to say thank you. Thank you for what you do, the services that you do and render. If you are like auditing police, I recall I met a customer at the prior job that told me they do exactly that. And I think, I wonder if that's you. If it is, please plug your channel, send me a message, email me, progressivepatriot44@gmail.com, and I'll promote the shit out of your channel. Oh, and I do have a couple of interviews. As I was saying, I think much earlier, I met somebody at an event who is a rapper. He's talented. He's got himself clean, and he's very excited. He's never been on a podcast. Not that I'm a fucking podcast. I'm a person with problems that blogs. I'm not trying to pretend to be anything else. All right. I don't know why I make these disclaimers. Clearly, there's a part of me subconsciously that still probably gives a fuck about what other people think. I need to work on that. All right, the wind is coming through. You're gonna be no, Crystal. I'm not gonna be a cop auditor. There's an individual in here, Jojo KS Cop Watch, and I'm just thanking them if that's what they do. That's that's not for me. That's not for me. I like to interview people. I find work that will keep me paid so I can pay my bills, and I enjoy talking, and I want to see how much I can accomplish by continuing to do the things that I enjoy or feel good about, and that is this right now. And I like interviewing people. Some of my favorite things on this channel have been interviewing. Shelby, I'm gonna. Hey, if Ajot knows Joko, then that's a big shout out. Ajot, you know Joko? If that's where I met you, man, big hats off to you. Hell yeah. All right. Please check this individual out. I will mod you when I am able to. Damn right, Crystal. Damn right. Okay. Can't make it any more clear. I will mod you so you can just plug your channel anytime. There's way too much focus on the channels that are all about attacking and drama and vileness to one another, and we have so many fucking issues as a country, as a collective, as neighbors. It makes me sick to my stomach. But seeing where the attention goes, man, Jesus H Christ, I wanna continue to try, and I'm human. There's gonna be times where I will attack other people because I speak. I'm outspoken. This is my medication, catharsis, and speaking my fucking piece, regardless of any consequences. This is a necessity. So yeah, I'm gonna mod you because I do very. Thank you for dropping the link. Please check out Joe Joe Co KS Cop Watch because this is a very small channel. You're not going to see a video that gets a shit ton of views over here. My shorts where I say something or show a comic book, they get more views. But the actual substance of what's done here ain't shit. And I'm not pretending that it is. But I believe in a community that can support one another, that to build one another up. I don't want your donations. I don't want anything. Click the like button if you feel that there's anything here that you appreciated today. That's all I ask. And feedback. Or challenge me on an issue that we have a disagreement with. Or especially if you'd like to get up on a panel and have a discussion or promote yourself or just shoot the shit, man, let me know. It's a cooperation all about, a corporation. It's a corporation all about making money. Yeah, I know. Like they have their quotas, and there's a good friend of mine that tries to deny things that we know are the truth, and that's a big problem. When people know the motherfucking truth or the facts, they know the facts, but because of a bias they have, because of a strong existing bias, because they don't want it to be so, this friend who I do believe has changed his mind over the years, but he would literally say to my face with a straight face, "There's no such thing as the thin blue line." What? And he literally said on Stuck in the Middle during one of our live streams, he literally said, I only ever believe the official reports. My man, the official reports is the strongest area where the police can control the narrative, man, because ultimately that's what's presented in court. That's why, man, these body cams, bro, the cops have to turn them on audibly. Like they have to, I don't know. I understand giving them some level of autonomy and control. That bitch needs to go on the second that they get involved in a stop or suspicion or whatever the case. So, okay, I think I've ranted myself out for the day. Good to see you guys here. Nothing wrong with following your passion at all. Trust me, man. This life, if there's ever been things that I continue to learn every motherfucking day for way too many years now, is that I'm desperately, desperately trying to not only keep the passions that I have, but to do something with the passion that courses through my veins. Anything. And this right here is probably the highlight of my motherfucking day. All right, as someone that worked intimately in an industry, thin blue line exists. Of course, of course. Does anybody that's sane and has some level of logic to their brain, like I mean, at a very low level, you just know that the facts are the facts, regardless of any bias or narrative that says otherwise. So okay, I tried to say goodbye like 10 times, but I get addicted. I get addicted to ranting, and I see a comment and I just can't shut up. But that's the whole point. So thank you. Thank you for being here for now. To the replay crew, thank you. Leave a comment, drop the thumbs up, down, and everywhere around, and take care of yourself till next time, okay? Peace out, y'all. Go catch my dog. He just had 3 teeth pulled, so I gotta take care of him real quick. Later, guys.